Something big is brewing between the Golden State Warriors and the Phoenix Suns. Of course, this would be one of the biggest blockbuster trades in Golden State Warriors history, and Mike Dunleavy has been open about trying to make a home run swing to improve this roster. But things just got way more real as we have some details in terms of the Phoenix Suns being willing to make this deal and being interested in Jonathan Kuminga. So we're going to break down all of these reports, everything that's going on, because I know Golden State Warriors fans are jaded. They're feeling like, hey, this move's not going to go down. There's a lot of gas, a lot of smoke regarding this, and a lot of Warriors rumors as of late, but things are getting out of hand right now in terms of all the reports that are escalating at this point. So we're going to break it all down in this video. But before we do, folks, again, if you guys are a part of the 66% of our viewers that haven't hit the subscribe button just yet, and you want to stay up to date with everything that Randy and I have going on here at Warriors Digest, make sure you guys hit that subscribe button, because frankly, things are going crazy right now, and the Golden State Warriors are in a position to make a big blockbuster trade. So let's not waste any time. Of course, we saw this report today. I've already covered it out here on the channel. The Warriors are legitimately calling about every all-star player. Just name an all-star. LeBron, players like Kevin Durant, players like Jimmy Butler. All of these guys are being tossed out in these big trade discussions. Mike Dunleavy is trying to make a big blockbuster move not heading in this year's trade deadline, before this trade deadline even happens. So things are going crazy right now on that front, but this seems a little far-fetched, and I get it. And we saw the reports. I'll bring up another one I discussed today before we talk about the new stuff. But yes, the Warriors have called on Kevin Durant. They've been aggressive to see if they could pry him away, and that is true. Several teams have called the Suns about KD, but Phoenix is still focused on a Butler-Beal deal or smaller deals with Miami if they don't budge on Jimmy. So the Phoenix Suns, it makes sense, guys. Like, it's a tough trade, giving up Kevin Durant. He is a superstar. He's a legitimate, guy that can come out and change a franchise. We've seen him do it for the Golden State Warriors before. Yes, he's older. Yes, he's, the back half of his contract could be a little bit messy, but he's still Kevin Durant. But these are all reports, and they were escalating. There were talks about earlier. But things just got a lot more real with some of the stuff that's been leaking as of late. So let's just, without further ado, jump into it. So Jake Fisher came out and revealed that the Suns have a level of interest in Jonathan Kuminga. This is coming from Jake Fisher. So this is the first little nugget of info, because obviously Jonathan Kuminga is a guy averaging 17 points per game, 5 rebounds, 2.2 assists. He's had a little bit of a roller coaster of a season, a roller coaster of a Warriors career, but we all know at just 22 years old, this guy is filled with a ton of potential, and even though there's the impending contract extension, there's all of this that you could talk about Jonathan Kuminga's trade value. This man can hoop, and this man is an asset for whatever team is interested in picking him up. The upside on Kuminga, I know there's two camps out there for Warriors fandom and stuff. I am in that camp of Jonathan Kuminga is still going to be an awesome, proper star out there in the NBA. And the Phoenix Suns leaking this, dropping this little bit of info, coming out. It's a sign. It's something that's coming out and saying, hey, there are some assets, there are some pieces that the Suns would be intrigued by in making these types of deals. So that's how these things start to get leaked. And now more and more things are coming through falling through the cracks in terms of reports and news and things like that. So basically, Jake Fisher also said that the Suns are listening to offers on Kevin Durant, and Durant is aware of this. Golden State has been the most active on its pursuit for Kevin Durant, holding interest in Jonathan Kuminga. Golden State's ideal plan is bringing in both LeBron and Kevin Durant into the Bay Area to play alongside Curry. So that's a massive plan. That's a big discussion. That's a big thing that's going on with this team. But this has also been backed up and followed by another NBA insider, as Chris Mannix has come out and said the Suns are strongly considering Kevin Durant deals before the trade deadline. Now, this is where things get crazy, because Kevin Durant is one of the league's best players still at this very moment. I mean, we can take a look at his stats in terms of what he's able to provide, what he's able to do out there on the basketball court. KD is still a monster. 27 points, 6 rebounds, 4 assists, shooting 40% from the three-point line, 47% on corner threes. Even at 36 years old, he is still an absolute beast out there on the basketball court, especially on the offensive end. That's no doubt, that's no surprise, that's no shock to anyone, given how well he is as a jump shooting, creating his own space. I mean, Warriors fans have seen it for years, right? This man can hoop with the best of them, with the best in the world at any given age. This guy's going to be 50 and cooking up whoever the heck he wants. But Kevin Durant is a piece that is in a very weird situation with the Phoenix Suns here now at this point. They're a mid-level team. They're a cap-struck team. They don't have any draft picks going forward, and they're just kind of a middle-of-the-road squad that haven't really been able to put it together. They've had unfortunate injury luck. The Bradley Beal trade has been a disaster for them at this point. So it's a situation where things are getting very, very weird for the Phoenix Suns. So the Suns are in a position to where they are going to say, of course, like, we'll never trade Durant, we'll never do this, we'll never do that. And it will, if they came out and said it, then that's essentially taking the complete wind out of the sails of the Jimmy Butler trade talks, because why on earth would Jimmy Butler want to go to the Phoenix Suns? Why would he want to sign an extension if Kevin Durant is not on the team? They wouldn't. He doesn't want to sign with Golden State. We saw that report drop today. That's all the stuff that's going on. That's all the stuff that's happening here now at this point. But behind the scenes, they know. If a Jimmy Butler trade could be worked out, it feels like it would have been worked out here now at this point. But the reality is the Heat do not want to take on Bradley Beal. That's the reality of it. That's just what's going on. And the Suns can't find any teams that Bradley Beal is, one, willing to go to, willing to waive his no-trade clause to go to, and two, teams that want to pick him up, right? The teams that Bradley Beal will be willing to go to, they don't want to touch that contract. He has been brutal. He has been abysmal over the course of the season. So if that trade falls apart, and essentially Brett Siegel has come out and given some insight in terms of what's going on here. Basically, there's, and we'll take a look at these reports. Essentially, there's lots to unpack with the Warriors, who attempted to make big swings over the past 72 hours. Not only did they call the Suns about Kevin Durant last week, but they also held talks on the Bulls about LaVine and Vooch. Of course, LaVine's now with the Sacramento Kings, but everything shifted to Butler, which then fell apart. So, the Warriors are trying to make these big blockbuster moves. They've been talking to the Suns. The Suns are in a very interesting spot. And then basically, from this Chris Mannix report that we just brought up out there in the graphic, but the Warriors indeed are serious about reuniting with Durant, and the efforts to acquire Jimmy Butler from rival execs believe the Suns are strongly considering Durant deals before the deadline. Brett Siegel responded to this and said, if there is a path the Suns seriously opening up Kevin Durant discussions, the Warriors will be willing to do what it takes to make it happen, from his understanding. As of right now, the word surrounding Phoenix continues to indicate that they aren't wanting to deal Kevin Durant, but that just makes sense in terms of what they are planning to do. Their number one priority isn't to trade Kevin Durant. Their number one priority is everything we've heard reported from every single analyst out there, from reporter out there, insider out there, is that they want Jimmy Butler on the Suns. The harsh reality is they're not getting Jimmy Butler on the Suns, and this team is a mid-level team out there in the Western Conference. So the Phoenix Suns are going to be in a spot hours before the deadline where Jimmy Butler, it comes to the realization, it comes to the reality, they have to grasp, whatever's going on, that Jimmy Butler will not be a Phoenix Sun. And they are a mid-level team that have no real options, no real flexibility, no real direction, especially with how they don't own any of their future draft picks. And they're going to say, this is why there's seeds planted of this Kevin Durant stuff. This is why they are already prepping. This is why all these things are leaking. This is not the Luka Doncic, Anthony Davis trade scenario. The Suns are trying to they're trying to do their best to get the haul they can. If they can't get Jimmy Butler, then they got to find plan B. And it looks like from everything that's leaking, everything that's reporting, everything that's dropping, their plan B is Kevin Durant getting dealt out of Phoenix. Build around Devin Booker, bring in some assets in the Golden State Warriors. The Warriors are willing to overpay and to bring in KD, to have that last run with Steph Curry. But we'll see how things shake out. But things are definitely escalating. Things are definitely going crazy. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. Do you think the Warriors will end up getting Kevin Durant? You guys are the best to make this far. Subscribe to the channel if you guys haven't already. Anyways, I'm signing out. Cheers.